Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Braun Strowman is back in WWE.
WWE got rid of a decades-old rule on last night's Monday Night Raw.
Dominik Mysterio has a new look and a new stable.
And a WWE superstar is set to return to in-ring action for the first time in 9 months next week.
9 months.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
And before we kick this one off, we should say that we will have a second video coming at you later on today focused on all the AEW backstage drama. There's so much to cover about that we figured if we did one video encompassing everything, poor old Braun Strowman's just going to get swallowed up. Which is mental because he's huge and nobody could eat that man. Anyway, let's talk about him. He's back in WWE. He was back on last night's Raw. Obviously, there'd been a lot of reporting on this matter heading into the show. The past week or so it intensified. WWE are interested. WWE have re-signed him. Well, he was back on Raw as originally reported by PW Insider's Mike Johnson, so credit for him for pointing out the exact return date. Now, there were some teases of his return earlier on the show. Miz and Ciampa were interviewed on a rooftop car park for some reason, and there was a car flipped over and it was steaming. Obviously, that's an old stunt of Braun's. Later, he came out during a massive tag team #1 contenders match with 4 different teams in it, and he killed everybody. His music hit. He came out, he looks like he's leaned out a bit, he looks in good shape.
Great.
Not that he was ever not in good shape, the guy's a monster, but you know what I mean. He was wearing red trousers, very dashing, very nice, very evil, and he came out and he ruined everyone, he just beat everyone up. That's literally how it went. It was Los Lotharios, Chad Gable, Angelo Dawkins got power slammed through the announce desk. It was nuts. Later on, a cameraman caught up with Braun, and he said, nobody is safe, the monster is back, and I'll be at SmackDown. Presumably, on SmackDown, he's going to beat up another 8 wrestlers.
Yes.
So yeah, there you go. I think, you know, he's been out of WWE since June 2021, mostly known for controlling his narrative since then. But I think Braun's best fit in pro wrestling is WWE. Let's not forget, he was so much fun at his peak, and I hope he can get back to that. Yeah,
do you know what? I think if you'd have told me a few weeks ago Monday Night Raw was going to have Braun on it, I'd have been a bit like, ugh, does it need it? Do I want this to happen? And then I wasn't aware about all the reports. Been out of the loop, obviously, for a few days.
This guy's been in Guadeloupe.
When his theme hit and he came storming out, I was like, boy, am I ready for this. It was great to see him back. Like you say, he looks in phenomenal shape. He did his old gimmick. He might have fallen over, but he did his old gimmick, running around the ring and sending people flying left, right, and centre. And I was just so taken aback by how fired up I was by him doing his old stuff again. It's been a while.
Returns are fun.
Yeah, and when he heads to SmackDown on Friday, I'm going to be absolutely there for that as well. I don't know what you do with him. We'll talk about that maybe in the Twitter questions, but he's certainly a presence.
He is. We should say for balance, right? It's probably not the best idea to have one man destroy your entire tag division. Maybe there was a different way they could have done this that wouldn't have been to the detriment of the tag wrestlers. I can't lie, though, I had fun. Yeah. I had fun.
It's fine. And I love all the teams that are in that, and we've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to beat up the Usos anyway. Eventually take those tag titles on them. I'm genuinely trying to think about who was the tag champs for a split second there. But you mentioned that because during that tag match on last night's Raw, WWE sort of quietly, or that's not quietly, it was quite blatant, got rid of a decades-old rule after Kofi Kingston tried to pin Xavier Woods. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Wait a second, aren't they on the same team? Yes, but it was a fatal 4-way, so presumably their argument would be, well, the New Day got the pinfall. It was via pinning the other bit of the New Day, but still. Anyway, that was clearly an example of WWE getting rid of the old outlaw rule. Our older fans may remember this. June 1998, Monday Night Raw, the New Age Outlaws pinned each other in a triple threat tag title match. And afterwards, WWE went, right, okay, you can't have that, that's a load of bollocks. So we're going to introduce a rule. It was occasionally mentioned with this sort of thing and joked about perhaps by commentary. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all fair and legal. So, I don't know, maybe Dakota Kai pins Io Sky next week or something. No, that can't happen. But, you know, I mean, it's not in force anymore, although I sense that it's probably not going to be utilised anytime soon. Yeah,
it's kind of a tough one to do, isn't it? Because, you know, theoretically, You could just implement this in any match. If you're a heel tag team, well, the New Day aren't heels, obviously, but if you're an opportunistic tag team, if you've cleared everyone out of the ring, you just go, yeah, I'm going to pin my mate and we're going to win. So, I think this stuff is funny. Like, I really do. Like, I love the Outlaws' utilization of it all the way back in the day. For me, it's always like, well, like, and I think about this stuff too much, so this is way too much detail, but it's like, okay, yeah, you pinned someone, so you've won, but you've also lost because the other guy in your team got pinned. So it creates an interesting quandary. Maybe they should simultaneously win and lose, and therefore it finishes in a draw. I don't know. Who knows?
Regardless, the rest of the tag teams piled in this match beforehand. So, like, wait a second, you can't do this.
Yeah, what are you doing, you silly sausages? Do you know who? Oh, right, okay, I probably should have given you this story, actually. Dominik Mysterio. Do you react to his
I said it all along, Andy. I've said it and I called it. I always said Clash at the Castle. I always said it's going to be at that show.
2 years ago, when his eyeball was popping out of his head, and Ray's eyeball, you said Clash at the Castle.
I said he's going to get turned on by his own son.
I think he's getting turned on by Rhea Ripley. So, I think that's the story.
I was obviously out of the loop of everything for the whole weekend, and I tried to avoid spoilers. Guess which spoiler I couldn't avoid because my phone exploded when it happened. Yeah.
We popped. We celebrated that in the stadium like a last-minute winner in a football game. I was like, grrr!
You thought the Judgment Day celebrated when they saw this. Yeah. You should have seen the Wilborn household.
Oh, man. It's absolutely mental. And then, like, at the pay-per-view as well, did you see he got his boot stuck between Edge's legs?
Yes. I suddenly was watching it going, why hasn't he got his shoes on as he was leaving?
He kicked Edge in his little pinner, and then his shoe fell off, so he had to kick the other one off. And then he accidentally got his t-shirt ripped by Ray, so he was like trying to cover his nipple up before he tore it off on the way out. It was really fun.
Good for you, Dom.
It was really funny. But yeah, on Raw last night, he basically joined the Judgment Day, didn't he? He got brought out by Rhea Ripley. She said, I made that boy a man or whatever.
She called herself a puppy. Oh.
Did you see that quote she had the other week where she was like, yeah, man, I'm just playing the perverse here. Like,
and you're succeeding, Rhea.
Building up to the creeps. She brought Dominik out as part of an in-ring segment where Edge was like, I'm going to get that boy. And then Ray was like, no, don't hurt my son. Dom came out, he was dressed from head to toe in black. He had his mullet kind of combed back. It's weird.
Someone's trying to be Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys,
aren't they? They really are. Dominik joined in a beatdown of Edge. Ray came out to kind of clear the ring a little bit. Next week we're getting Edge versus Dominik, which is interesting. On the show here as well, we got Ray versus Damian Priest. Did that happen, or have I made that up?
Got his head
that did happen, and there was a bit of Dom had some influence there because Ray hit the 619, looked like he was going to win, and Dominik was like, So yeah, there you go, man. Dominik is in the Judgment Day, it seems. He didn't speak on the show, which is probably wise, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think it was good call.
Let's be honest. But yeah, there we go. Saw this man walking around in the street in Cardiff, actually, while we were trying to get a kebab on the Friday night. He was strolling around. He had Ray with him, unmasked. Ray's quite fortunate in these situations. He just takes his mask off, no one's going to bother him. And Theory was with them as well. And they had two of the biggest guys I've ever seen chaperoning them around this street that was just full of drunk people. So yeah, Dominik had an eventful weekend.
Yep.
I wonder if he got that kebab. Who knows? We were looking for the kebabs, by the way, not them. But yeah, there you go.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
What a weekend for me. What a weekend for me to get to step out of the loop of it all. Dom turns on his own dad and MJF returns, and it's not even the big story of the weekend.
No, Kenny Omega got baked by Ace Steel. We're going to talk about that later.
More on that in the second news video. Finally, we'll tell you.
I'm looking forward to that news video, let me tell you.
Oh, boy. Let's talk about Johnny Gargano. He is set to return to the ring next week on Monday Night Raw. It was announced on last night's Raw. Theory came up after he's had his head kicked in himself by KO and said, oh, you're crap. But no word on Johnny who Gargano is going to face. His last match was the 5th of December 2021, 9 months ago. Of course, it was that one against Grayson Bloody Waller, and it was a tearful, emotional goodbye. Because he probably didn't anticipate WWE looking like this in December of 2021.
Yeah.
What a difference 9 months makes.
Yeah, absolutely. It changes afoot in every major organisation in the world at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get his first match in a long, long time. I'm sure he won't be rusty. It's Johnny Gargano. I'm sure he's prepared for this.
Oh, my God.
No idea who he's facing. Hope it's someone fun. Hope it's not just a squash. I'd like to see just a good Johnny Gargano match.
Yeah, there was a bit of me when you were thinking that, when you were talking now. I was like, yeah, I don't want it to be a local competitor. It probably wouldn't be with Johnny Gargano. But yeah, I do want to see him to showcase to people. I know he's already had a match on main roster WWE, but no one remembers that, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So let's have him show everyone who doesn't know, and remind everyone who remembers him from NXT, why he is one half of my favourite wrestling match of all time.
There you go. And if you don't know, now you know. Maybe he could wrestle Top Dollar.
Maybe not.
Different brands.
Maybe.
Oh man. You obviously were missing from our live shows because you got lost on your way back to your home planet, as I explained in the flash. But on the Saturday at the Cardiff show, I did conducted the crowd. I was like, I'm going to name someone who's returned to WWE and tell me what you like. Make a noise, pop or whatever. Karrion Kross, huge pop. Dakota Kai, huge pop.
Of course.
Io Shirai, huge pop. Gargano, everyone, huge pops. Dexter Lumis, huge pop.
Yeah.
I went hit row. About 4 people went And then Sidgwick goes, all right, Top Dollar individually. And everyone went, boo!
He is money.
Nobody likes Top Dollar, it seems. I do. I like the chaos he brings to the wrestling industry. How are we talking about Top Dollar?
Because he put the G in Johnny Gargano. He also put the G in K-I-N-G, and another word that's got a G in it.
G in OG3.
Thank you.
Put the G in lasagna.
Right, should we move on to our Twitter questions?
I put the G in lasagna.
By the way, if you're wondering, we do have AEW Twitter questions on the AEW news as well. Sort of a day we can't really dodge that sort of thing.
That news video might be 40 minutes long.
Yeah. First question today on the WWE news comes from Daniel Murphy, who says, good morning, King of the Kazoo and heel with the eel. Come on, Andy, do the gimmick. Ready? I'm ready.
He's not here, mate.
The eel's gone. But don't worry.
The eel's gone.
Anyone worried about the eel? The eel's going to be replaced by the eel.
Well, the eel, yeah.
The eel's brother.
The eel's brother, the eel, is on his way to me. I get the eel found a new owner at the weekend at our Cardiff live show. So on the Friday live show, a couple of people came up to me and said, "Where's the eel, man?"
Where's the eel?
And I was like, "Well, I've got to bring him to the Saturday one now because he was in my suitcase." Brought him to the Saturday one, and we're doing our meet and greet. So Adam Nicholas and Michael Hamilton go, Murray, and I'm like, what's going on here? Lovely chap with an eel t-shirt showed up. So I was like, my friend, you must have the eel. If you're watching this, Mr. Eel owner, I guess, let me know who you are, man. Like,
we'll shout you out.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so awesome. An eel t-shirt.
Maybe we'll reveal it on the Friday news. The eel in his new habitat.
The eel, by the way, got a bigger pop than anyone on the live show.
Out of the way, Simon Miller. The eel's here.
I walked onto the stage and I was like, "Hey!" or whatever. Like the 5 people who care about me said, "Hey!" And then I picked up the eel and everyone went, "Ah!"
The eel's here.
The eel's more over than everyone, man.
So anyway, Daniel writes, with the return of the monster among men, who would you pit him into a feud with first and why?
Theory.
I
mean, I would do the Johnny Gargano Theory feud first, right? I would get that done by Extreme Rules. I think that's a good story for sure, given their past. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of Braun killing goobers, and there's no bigger goober in this universe.
Yeah, run it back with local competitors. That was ace.
Yeah,
I know they did it a lot with Veer recently, but it's different gravy, isn't it? With
stupid mid-card heels with dumb faces. That's who he needs to kill.
Do you know what I do? Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
You may as well. He ain't challenging for the title again. He's probably got a heel turn in the offing because what else can you do with him? So feed him to Braun in the interim and then send him away for a bit and then bring him back as a heel.
Why not?
With an eel.
I wonder if Drew ended up with an eel.
Ooh, maybe. Second question. Let us know your picks, by the way, in the comments. Second question today comes from Palm. It's more of a sort of question. It was in response to our announcement of our all-out live stream, but I feel it's still applicable right now. Palm writes, why is Andy Murray so sensible and logical? Is it in the British DNA, a lifelong diet of Bovril, or what? American minds want to know. You do have a very...
I don't know if I do, man.
Apart from the eel stuff. But like, genuinely...
24 years old, I carry an eel around.
Shoot, if I want an answer, a shoot answer to something in the business in the office, I'll go to Andy. What is it? Why?
That's very flattering.
Is that just the fact that we're all... silly English pig dogs and you're Scottish?
I'm a silly Scottish pig dog. Nah, man, like, I don't know. Like, that's very flattering. Thank you for all that. I don't know. I'm not that into hot takes. Like, really, I'm not into the hysterical reactions to stuff. To me, it's not like. I kind of like just try to separate the wheat from the chaff. Like, I don't like burying things, for example. I find burying things to be really unsatisfying, like a really unsatisfying use of energy. Michael Sidgwick informed me the other day that I'm very good at burying things. I just don't like doing it very often. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think sometimes it's good to just keep things at arm's length and keep the noise over here and really try and get to the core of what.
When it comes to Andy, he cut the
crikey dingo.
Thank you.
Sorry, Adam Nicholas. First day back.
But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a hot take guy. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, I like this hot take from.
But thank you.
From
That's
Mark
really
Smith.
flattering.
Thank you, Palm, for that.
Yeah.
The final one, Mark Smith.
What is this?
Is Dominik trying to recreate a darker Gareth Southgate from 2018? Why else wear a waistcoat? Excellent spot, that, Mark.
Well, I think Dominik Mysterio, to be fair to him, right, and this might come across as a little bit harsh, but he's not particularly known for being the most outwardly charismatic.
No.
But he makes Gareth Southgate look like The Rock, doesn't he? Right? I'm only joking, that's harsh. No, Gareth Southgate's a loser dweeb who is a colossal failure as the manager of his national team.
Yeah,
you got, listen, at the Euros, they went all the way to the final and lost. If you're going to not win, just go out in the first round.
Save your time.
He's a national disgrace, he's a total failure, and I'm taking the piss, obviously, because Scotland went out in the first round and haven't qualified for the World Cup. But yeah, this is, maybe.
I would love that. Oh, you're getting real dark Gareth Southgate vibes from this guy.
Now, best of luck to Dominik, man. I think, like, I mean...
He needed something, didn't he?
He definitely did. He's not shown the most electric presence throughout his career. That's what I'm trying to say. And this might give him something new. You don't know what people are going to be like in new roles until you actually try it. So here we go.
Exactly. Let's move on to today's and finally, and I just want to share this image that has been doing the rounds on Reddit and social media from Samuel Morgan, who got this snap of when Finn Balor was thrown into the crowd at Clash at the Castle, and there's his mum and dad laughing at him. Cheers, mum and dad.
And it's still only the second most iconic image involving Finn Balor and laughter.
Yeah.
Now, his reaction to the Dominik heel turn with Rhea and Damien was so good.
Yes.
We will be using that as a thumbnail, by the way, don't worry.
Probably in reaction to the AW backstage news, but who knows?
Well, that's literally what I've used it for on the website. I did that, those guys laughing, a little AW logo over here. We know what we're doing.
I tell you what.
Clash was really good.
It was really enjoyable.
It's a really fun live experience. I liked everything on the show apart from... I didn't like the main event result, but I enjoyed the main event.
I like the main event result. I love my tribal chief.
We are the ones.
And I love a bit of Solo Sikoa. For those, if you know, you know about NXT 2.0.
It was a bit like the Dark Order's debut, that, wasn't it? I was like, who's this guy? I mean, we knew, obviously, and some other people did, but there was so many people around us going, what the hell? Who's this bloke?
But I
think he's great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, as Andy mentioned, we'll be talking all about the AEW stuff in our separate AEW news video, which is coming your way a little bit later on today. Miller's obviously going to be on his way with his ups and downs from Monday Night Raw. And you can continue the conversation with us, ask us more Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Watch that. You can follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at...
You can follow me at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for hey. I'm sure this is going to be another nice quiet week in the world of professional wrestling where nothing ever happens.
It's my first day back, this. I need another holiday.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Like, share, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts, of course. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. We'll be back a little bit later with the AEW news. We'll see you soon.
We will see you soon, friends.